director of the Mid-Valley STEM-CTE Hub. And if you haven't yet muted yourself, and we'll also turn off our cameras just here as we get started to help save some bandwidth. You can also set your screen, if you haven't yet, to the view option in the upper right-hand corner to the speaker view. And that way you can see Vicky when she's presenting. So I'm really excited to welcome you to our STEM Week presentation today with Vicky Fang. We are the Mid-Valley STEM-CTE Hub, and we work in Lynn and Benton counties to enhance and elevate STEM and CTE opportunities for learners of all ages. And we're really happy to see all different ages here at today's presentation. We work with educators and students, families, business and industry, and community organizations to bring people together to solve problems, learn, and have fun. We also get to work with amazing people like today's presenter. Some of you may have been at Vicky's presentation earlier this week, and she read one of her books for us. And here's a little more information about Vicky. She's a product designer who spent 5 years designing kids' technology experiences for both Google and Intel, often to inspire and empower kids in coding and technology. She started writing to support the growing need for early coding education, particularly for girls and kids of color. She is the author of 9 new and upcoming STEAM books for kids, including Invent-A-Pet, which we got to hear earlier this week, I Can Code, Layla and the Bots, and her author-illustrator debut, Friend Bots. You can find out more about Vicky by following her on Twitter at FangMiss or on her website, vickyfang.com. With that, Vicky, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much, Sarah. What a nice introduction. Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here. I am the author of Layla and the Bots, and this is the book that I'm going to be reading to you today. I'm going to read you just a little bit of the book because this is actually an early chapter book, so it's quite long. So I'm going to read you a little bit of the book, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about how I wrote this book. And then we're going to do an activity together based on the book and based on sort of the things that I talk about in terms of writing and inventing. So I'm going to get started with the book, and then I'll leave time for questions also. So if you have questions, you can always type them in the chat or hold on to them. And then when I open it up to questions, we can start answering them. A couple things for the activity. We will need some paper and drawing materials. You can go grab those now, or I'll give you time to grab them when we start the activity. All right. Okay, so here we go. Layla and the Bots, Happy Paws. This is book 1 in the series. It's illustrated by Christine Nishiyama. Okay, I'm gonna try and hold it close so you can see the illustrations because they're really fun. Chapter 1, Meet Layla and the Bots. This is Layla. She is an inventor and a rock star. These are the bots. Beep, boop, bop. They are part of Layla's crew. Beep knows things. Beep, light travels faster than anything else in this world. Boop builds things. More lights. Bop codes things. Ready, yeah! Layla and the Bots live in an ordinary town called Blossom Valley. But ever since Layla built her bots, her life is anything but ordinary. You see, Layla and the Bots are famous. They play awesome rock music together and perform in all sorts of cool places. And when they're not playing music, they're putting their invention skills to work. Whenever Layla and the Bots get together, awesome things happen. Chapter 2, Not So Happy Days. On Monday morning, Layla and the bots unpack their band gear at the Happy Days amusement park. They have a big show in 5 days. This is going to be our best show ever. Yippee! Layla sees Wade, the park owner. He looks upset. She hops down from the stage. Hey, Wade, is everything okay? Sorry, but your show is canceled. I am closing the park. What? But why? People have stopped coming to the park. It's been slow for a year. I just can't stay open. Wade seems so sad. He keeps talking, but Layla doesn't hear him. Close Happy Days? She has so many memories from the park. I love this little drawing of them on the water slide. After Wade leaves, Layla tells the bots the bad news. Wade is closing Happy Days. How come? Warg! Beep, Happy Days is my favorite. Layla cuts Beep off. I feel the same way, which is why we are not going to let it happen. We have to save Happy Days. Are you with me? Yes! Chapter 3, Follow That Bark. Layla and the bots visit town. It's time to investigate. We have to figure out why people have stopped going to Happy Days. Where are they going instead? The stores are quiet. The restaurants are slow. Even the movie theater is empty. It's so weird. Where is everybody? Bark, bark. What is that? Beep, sounds like barking. But where are the dogs? They follow the barking sounds. The town dog park is overflowing with people and dogs. So this is where everybody is going for fun now. Woof doggies! Beep, how many dog owners are there in Blossom Valley? Beep, there are 4,000 homes in Blossom Valley. Half of the households own a dog. That's 2,000 dog owners. 2,000, wowzies! Layla thinks back to when the amusement park first opened. Happy Days used to have a doggy daycare. Beep, that closed 12 months ago. 1 year ago, isn't that when Wade said business slowed down? Yes, but doggy daycare sounds boring, so snoring. It's true, the dogs were bored there and the whole amusement park has to be fun. This gives Layla an idea. All right, I'm going to stop there. And I'm wondering if anyone can guess what her idea is. Does anyone have a guess? You can unmute or you can type into the chat if you have a guess. If not, we'll get to it later. What do you think Layla's like? A dog amusement park. Yes! So they end up redesigning the amusement park for dogs. Thank you, Tessa. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I wrote this book and how I invent things, because I am a product designer who's invented lots of things. And then we're going to use that process to design an amusement park for dogs. Okay, Amber, dog toys at the park, great idea. Hold that one, because that's going to be a good one for later. Okay, I'm going to present my screen. Do I have presentation? Can I get presentation rights or permissions?
Yes, we'll do that for you right now, Vicky. One sec.
Just made you co-host, Vicky.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Okay, do you see Layla and the bots on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna back up a little. This was me as a kid. I like doing all kinds of things: gymnastics, singing, skiing, music, drawing. And then when I grew up, I did all kinds of things. So I became a game designer, I became an actress, and I ended up becoming a product designer at Google and Intel, where I designed technology experiences for kids and families. So I designed these cardboard Pokemon robots that you could build yourself and program yourself, code them. I designed these Disney books that you could read aloud and they would bring up sound effects and music based on where you were in the story. I designed this building installation that when you held hands with people in the space, the building would light up and play music. So these were the kinds of things that I was creating with technology. And so I wanted to write books that showed how fun and inventive and creative technology is. So I decided I wanted to write kids' books. But then I had to figure out how to write a kid's book. And so this is what I did. And this is the same way that I design products. The first thing I do is investigation. So I do some research. And so I read a lot of books. And so you might recognize some of these books. These are all by the same publisher that publishes Layla and the Bots. So I read a lot of these books to get ideas. And then step 2 is ideating. So I came up with ideas for the book. Now I knew I wanted to write a book about robots because I was making these fun robots. And then suddenly this idea for a girl in a rock band came into my head, and Layla and the Bots was my idea. And you can see I have this sketch here. I didn't illustrate the books, but when I'm writing, sometimes I draw some pictures to help me think through the characters and think through the story. So this was my first sketch when I was writing to try and figure out who these characters were. Okay, then after coming up with ideas, step 3 is implementing. And so I just wrote the story just like that. I look just like Kermit the Frog. And it's at this point, it's a first draft. And so as you all know, I'm sure from writing stories in your school, step 4 is improving the story. And so I did a lot of revisions. I revised the story probably for 3 months before we sent it to an editor. And then once I had an editor, I had an editor, I had an art director, the illustrator came on board. And they all worked together with me to turn Layla and the Bots into a book. And so then it became something that I could hold, and it's in bookstores and people can read it. And so that's why I feel like writing is a lot like inventing. It's something that doesn't exist. It's just an idea in your head, and you get to turn it into something that other people can enjoy and hold and read. And so that's really exciting for me. So that's the process that I go through to write a book. That's also the process that I go through to invent products. And that's the process that Layla and the Bots follow in the books. They investigate a problem, they come up with ideas, they implement a solution, and then they improve on their solution. So that's the cycle that I feel is great for any problem, whether it's technology or not. And that's what we're going to do today to design our own amusement park for dogs. So I actually, since we're a small crew, you can turn on your camera if you like, or we can continue writing in the chat. I'm going to continue. I actually won't be able to see the chat. So if Sarah or Chris, if you could help me. But the first step, if you have the printout, the first step is step 1, researching. Think about dogs. What do they like? If you don't have the sheet, you can just use a piece of paper. That's fine. And if you need to go grab one, you can go grab something. But so step 1 is thinking about dogs. So we can do this as a group. I don't know if anyone here has a dog, but what do you know about dogs? Any ideas?
We have an answer here in the chat. They like balls.
They like balls, yep.
That reminds me, Tessa's answer that they like to play. We have another answer here. They like sticks.
feel free to unmute yourselves as well. I've given you the ability to do that. And you can, if the kids want to get on and say their answers, that'd be great.
They like balls, they like sticks, they like playing. Does anyone have a dog?
I have a
No
dog.
dog
Vicky.
owners?
My dog, I have a dog and she also really likes treats.
She likes treats, yes.
Could you change this to book 4?
Hey, can you do it? This is Tasso. Can you go ask Daddy to do it?
I don't know how. He
Go
doesn't know
ask
how.
Daddy, buddy.
He
I'm on
doesn't
a
know
call
how.
right now.
He does not know how.
1 minute.
We've all been there.
I'm thinking about other things that dogs like, and her pictures are really helping me to remember things like playing in the water. Some dogs I know like to play in the water too and swim, but not all dogs.
Hi, sorry about that. That was Tasso. He's in 1st grade. He's seen this presentation before. Okay, so we have treats.
Do you have something? Dean, what do dogs like?
They like to fetch.
Fetch.
Chase
Yeah. Chase stuff. What else? Is there stuff that they don't like?
Swim. In the chat, there's swim.
They don't like swimming. Or they
Oh,
do.
no, they do like
okay.
to swim.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna say.
Vacuum cleaner.
Oh, good answer. I heard vacuum cleaner. I know my dog does not like the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
Great answer.
Good answer. Yeah. I've heard fireworks too. Yeah. They're not big fans of fireworks. Okay. This is awesome. Okay, so they like balls, sticks, playing, treats, fetch, chasing stuff, swimming. I think this is a great start. Okay, so that was step 1, thinking about dogs. What do they like? So step 2 is coming up with some ideas. So if you think about some of these things that you know about dogs, the things that they like, I left space for 3 ideas. If you have more than 3, you can go on the back of the sheet. If you're not using this paper, you can, put as many ideas as you want. But the idea is to come up with some ideas, and don't worry too much about each one. Just come up with a bunch of different ideas. How many ideas can you come up with? So I'm going to set a timer for, let's say, 4 minutes, and we're going to come up with as many ideas as we can come up with. Okay? So think about, if you were designing an amusement park for dogs and you know that they like these things, what would you put in that amusement park? What might be fun for them? I'm going to try to come up with some too. And so I keep looking back at the list too to see, okay, should I do something with sticks, something with treats, something with fetch or chasing stuff? And if you think of more things to add to the list, you can always add them too. I just thought about smelling stuff. They like smelling things.
Your picture there reminds me, Vicky, one of the things my dog really likes to do, and she's not supposed to do, is to dig holes.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Okay, let's maybe 30 more seconds and then maybe folks can share out some of their ideas. Okay, does anyone have one that they'd like to share, or more than one? Okay, Tessa, what do you have?
So my idea is that, well, dogs like swimming, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my idea is it's like a pool that has like a bunch of balls in it, and dogs jump into it, but there's waterproof padding so they don't get hurt when they jump into it, and there's like a bunch of balls in it.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. I love that you're thinking about too their safety and making sure that they're having a good experience. That's awesome.
All dogs should be safe.
Yeah, that's true. Does anyone else have an idea to share? Amber.
Okay, Dean, what's yours?
A park with like trees so they can pee on them, and then like a little thing that gives them treats and it shoots balls out, and like a stick for it, but like a stick comes out and just throws it and it just keeps on throwing sticks for the dogs. Sprinklers. And then there's like an underground thing they can go like down the steps onto the slide.
It's okay.
And then there's like something that spins them, and by touching a button, it just spins them automatically for a couple minutes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then there's a thing that shoots balls like off the walls, and they just chase them.
Those are so good. They're so much fun. I love how there's so much motion involved. The dogs would have so much fun chasing after everything. You sort of got the chasing and the things that they love together. That's great. Thank you. Did anyone else want to share an idea?
Hang on.
Jess, were you trying to share an idea? I think you're on mute.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No problem. Oh, it keeps muting.
It's muting me. Okay, try one more time.
Tug of war.
Tug of war.
Tug of war. Oh, that's so cool. I hadn't thought of that because the dogs love like biting and pulling on things, and you could put them in teams and they could tug against each other. That's so fun. I love these. Okay, so that was step 1 and step 2. So we did our research, we thought about dogs, and then step 2, we came up with lots of ideas. And then step 3 is to pick one idea and draw a picture of that design. So you're gonna refine one of your ideas now. If you only had one, take that idea and make it better. So figure out, you know, what is the name of it and draw a picture of what it could be. So we'll just take another, let's say 4 minutes to draw your best idea, okay?
And did you say maybe we could give it a name too?
Yeah, it would be great if you could name it. I need to pick one. Oh, I should share out the ones that I made. I had a treat obstacle course. So I had like these treats hanging down and the dog could like run around. And then I had a stick playground. I don't know, I was excited about the sticks, but I wasn't sure what to do with them. Maybe I have to think about that one more. And then the digging, I was thinking maybe they could dig for treasure. So it's like a big park full of treasure and they could dig around. Yeah, so those were my 3. So I'll have to pick one and take it further along. So well, it's hard to come up with good names. So as you start to finish up, you know, take as long as you need. You can continue working on it. But if you have something that you want to share out, if you've added to your idea or picked an idea and named it, I'd love to hear.
Tessa, do you want to unmute and you can share yours?
So idea I chose was the ball one, and So I drew this little picture of a dog sitting in the pool full of balls, and then you've got a stairway where they climb up because dogs can't really climb ladders, and then you have the inside which has the waterproof padding and the balls floating around.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love the structural elements that you've included in for the dogs to climb up and jump in. That's fantastic. Nicely done. Is there a name for your attraction?
The ball tank.
The ball tank. I love it. Great job. Thank you for sharing. Amber, do you have something that you're sharing up there?
Kaylene, what's the name of yours?
Fun Dog Kingdom.
What was that?
This is a ginormous castle of fun.
Oh, that's
For
awesome.
dogs.
And here's
Castle for
here's
dogs.
Hannah's. What is yours called? What'd you call it? The water fun park? Yeah.
Oh, I love that. The water fun park. That's super cool. If you all end up finding the book and reading it, you'll get to see some of the things that they invented. And one of them has to do with a water slide. Well, a mud / water slide. Jess, I see something on your screen.
Okay. Can you tell them about it?
It's a ball thrower thing. Or the ball throw all day long, and a high thrower to touch the sky.
Oh
The
my gosh,
balls
so
all the way up to the
cool.
sky.
It would throw the balls that high, and there's so many balls. They would be thrilled all day long. I love it. These are awesome. And then what's cool is we could put them all together, and then we start having like a whole park. I can share mine. Mine was this. The sticks. Okay, here was my idea. Maybe you all can help me improve this. The sticks were going to be in this giant tower. And then the idea is that the dogs get to like break down the tower and then play with all the sticks. And I called it the stick stack attack because I thought that sounded cool. But I don't know, maybe there's something else I could do with the sticks. I feel like there's still more I could do with the sticks. Okay, this was awesome. Thank you. I'm going to open it up if people have any questions about, the books or about writing books or about inventing things or the design process. Like I was saying, so we went through those 3 steps. And then after that, we would be improving, and then just go through it again. You look for problems in your design and you make it better and keep improving. And that's how you make products or books. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'll open it up to any questions. Oh, I love this. I would hide socks and call it the mystery sock hunt. That sounds really fun. That sounds fun for like humans too. I love it.
Our old dog used to steal my socks
Oh, really?
all the time
Nothing
go
like
up-
a good pair of socks.
and go to her bed and they'd be buried inside.
Well, if no one has any questions, then I'll let you go.
Any of you guys have questions? Tessa, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
This isn't really a question, but I had one more idea for the ball tank. The
Okay.
balls are like fluffy and have soap on them. So when the dogs jump in, they end up getting cleaned if they're all dirty.
That's perfect. The dogs will love the bubbles and the owners will love the clean dogs. It's brilliant. Nice.
Tessa, do you want to ask Vicky anything about working at Google and designing products or anything like that?
What was it like working at Google?
So working at Google is really fun. because you get to work with people who are really good at what they do, and you get to partner together. So I was mentioning this the other day, like, you know, like Layla and the bots, there's the mechanical engineer and the coder and the researcher, and Layla's kind of like the product manager / designer. And that's kind of like what a team at Google looks like. I mean, this book is basically just my experience at Google. But you all get to work together, and then everyone's so good at what they do that you invent things or build things that are better than you could ever do by yourself. And it's just really fun to do that. And everyone just is always coming up with great ideas, and they're really passionate about doing cool things and also doing good things. I mean, you know, there's, you know, Google used to have the saying, don't be evil. I think that's not really around anymore, but there is like a sense at Google of everyone says, you know, please be googly, or is that googly, you know, and they try and make sure everyone's kind of like being a good citizen at Google, but also in the world. So that's what it's like to work at Google. Thanks for the question.
Do we have any other? Yeah, any other questions from our younger audience members? I think I see one there. Did I see a hand up there in Amber's screen there? No, okay. All right. Well, thank you, Vicky, so much. Thanks everyone for joining us. This was super fun.
It was so much fun. Thank you all. I love your inventions. I always come away from these things with so many great ideas. So thank you.
Thank you guys. It was awesome. Thank you, Vicky. Super cute. Super cute.
Yep. Chris, did you come up with an invention for the dog amusement park?
Yeah.
Are you multitasking, Chris?
No, I did actually, but I did want to say it. It was more, you know, like we have a large, we are very influenced in our house by, you know, like the Captain Underpants kind of humor too.
Oh yeah.
So I had messaged Tessa in the chat, like, what about a giant dog butt that they can run up and smell? So that was my invention. I thought I'd keep it to myself though.
It's on point. I know that should have been on the list, sniffing butts, right?
Mm-hmm. You know,
one of the most popular at the park.
and little Dean in there, you know, when he said the trees, so the dogs could go pee on the trees, I thought it was like, oh yeah, like great minds, you know. Like that's what we were thinking, you know.
I put lots of trees in my, let's see, it's hard with this. This is a very, you know, realistically rendered drawing, but it's a dog bark.
Like it.
Well done, well done.
But it's definitely got lots of tufts of grass for sniffing and trees for peeing upon. I think that's really important.
I basically, I didn't draw because I'm just too much on my desk, but I was going to make like a tunnel with the dog legs being the beginning of the entrance to the tunnel. And that, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
My gosh.
I will try and practice that. Is it googly kind of thinking now though? Vicky, I will take that inspiration to heart. But yeah, I was so glad Tessa and I were chatting a lot throughout about just, you know, it's like, it's okay, you can go share, you know, and all that kind of stuff and things like that. But
excellent.
She's a great little inventor. Yeah, she's a great little inventor.
I know, her ideas are awesome.
I'm going to stop recording now. I guess we should do that.